So, this isn't so much... I know what you're thinking from the title. That this is a, like, adaptation of World War Hulk. And in a way, it is a adaptation of something, but it's not of World War Hulk. It's actually more of another Marvel story, and it was more of a Marvel what-if story. This is more based off of Punisher kills the Marvel Universe, or, for all the recent people out there, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. But I just could not get the title out of my head. World War Wendy. Yeah. So, yeah, it just seemed like it just felt like the like a idea, like that title couldn't get out of my head. So I was like, you know what? I'll just use it for that title because it's better than Wendy kills the cartoon universe. I just could I even talked to Jason the other night, and this is not going to be an Infinity Verse story. I was like, hey, I can't get this title out of my head. It's called World War Wendy, and he's like, is it World War Hulk? And I was like, no, it's more like Punisher kills the Marvel Universe. And he's like, ah. So let's get started with this story. So this story is basically set just a normal day in Gravity Falls. Just a normal day. Just a normal day in Gravity Falls. And then a battle occurs. Like, essentially what has happened is that a alien invasion happens of the Triceratons from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the Triceratons ended up showing up, and the hero and superheroes showed up to fight them. But unfortunately, Gravity Falls became a casualty. And I'm not talking, like, just a few people. Like, the entire town just got just destroyed in the wake, and only like a handful of people survived. Everyone in it, like Wendy's family, as well as everyone she loved in at the Mystery Shack, are all dead. Like, they're just all dead, and she's pointing at the heroes, who were kind of like, we were like, sucks that your town's gone, but we were trying to save the world, so sorry about that. And Wendy's like, I am going to I don't care what I have to do, but I am going to find a way to kill every last one of you. And that's what the story is that Wendy more or less heads out to find a way. She basically goes all like Punisher and spends her time like away from Gravity Falls. She leaves the town and goes to one place where if you want to learn to be a killer, there's no better place. She goes right to Roanapur from Black Lagoon. She goes to Roanapur and trains for a solid 5 years in Roanapur to be one of the most lethal killers. She joins a mob. She joins the mob. She trains under Revy. She trains under Balalaika. And yeah, she basically becomes one of the most lethal killers out there. And then comes back, and at first, she's more like a slasher in a horror movie, because what happens is that the first reports of this goes on is that several members of G.I. Joe are found brutally murdered on a mission with Cobra. And at first they think it's Cobra until they find the massacred bodies of Firefly and Zartan among the dead. Like, someone has murdered G.I. Joe members, like the ones that were killed were like Alpine and Rock and Roll and a few others. Several Joes were brutally murdered. CoverGirl was found dead. Zorana from Cobra was found dead. And yeah, so it's not just heroes she's hunting, it's villains too. Later on, Mojo Jojo is basically having a fight with the Powerpuff Girls, and like, I will destroy Townsville and take over the world. And then a gunshot rings out, and Mojo's brain just all over, like, and the girls are like, holy shit, that just happened. They don't know where the shooter came and went. But yeah, the shooter's already gone. In fact, when they investigate the shooting, and they're with other heroes who help them, because they're like, they don't know how to investigate a crime scene. It's more or less, it was a remote-controlled rifle. Like, someone was in another part of Townsville and planning on this. And it doesn't stop there, because later that night, all the girls are murdered in their sleep by a chemical agent that destroyed their cellular structure. So they all died in their sleep. Someone poisoned them with a chemical that that basically broke down the chemical X in their bodies. And when the professor woke them up the other day, he just found them all withered up and dead. So they're already like, so the heroes are now like, oh shit, there's someone out there who is killing people. And it's not just heroes, that villains are also looking for them. Among the others who are killed, like during a during like just a patrol mission, for the gargoyles. All the gargoyles report back to to their home, and when they get there, they find the clock tower. They find a bomb too late. They all get killed by an explosion. So Kim Possible's the first one to go, like, it's Wendy. It's that woman who we basically, like, we just left, and like we just accidentally killed all their friends during that alien invasion. So she's after all of us. And in fact, it is Wendy, and she's been picking her targets because she knows she can't fight them most of them in a head-on fight. So she's got to play, smart. She has to play like really smart against a lot of her opponents. So among those is like when she goes to hunt down Danny, she tracks him. She tracks him carefully, and he can't sense her because she's not a ghost. So the ghost sense doesn't doesn't work for him. He goes home, turns back into Danny Fenton, and that's when Wendy, who's hiding in his room, comes up behind him and just gets him by the throat, just leaves him for dead, and just lets him bleed out on the floor before just effortlessly leaving. So Wendy at this point is now just a slasher in a horror movie for superheroes, where she's coming in brutally murdering a lot of heroes. Like for Star, she more or less leaves she sends Star a package saying from a friend, and Star was dumb enough to open up the package, and it blows up in her face. So by this point, a lot of the remaining heroes are now getting wise to what's going on, and Wendy has to get more like in their face about fighting them. Like, for instance, she knows her conventional guns are not going to work against the crystal gems, but how she does fight them is that she basically forges bullets that were harvested from broken gems. She more or less forges bullets from shattered gems, and monsters she finds, kills, and takes their gems and fashions into bullets to pierce through and shatter the gems. So she just is just up on a clock tower like a mile away, and just like bang, kill, just instantly before anyone can have time to think. Just blows away Pearl first. Just the gem goes through her the bullet gem goes right through her gem on her forehead, out the back of her head, and she's dead. Then when everyone's like trying to hide, like they can't find the shooter because she's so far away, she's just picking people off, and actually first shoots Garnet, forces her to separate, and then just starts picking off Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire. And the thing is that Garnet predicted that the shot was coming. She turned to Pearl and said, "I'm sorry, I can't get to you." Like, all she can say is, "I'm sorry." And then she's like, "What do you mean, Garnet?" Blam! As for Steven, because she knows that obviously the bullet can just kill him, she doesn't have to aim for the gem to kill Steven. She can, but what she does do is that she knows that her bullets, even the specialized bullets she's using, can't break through that barrier he has. So what she does is more or less corral him with her gunfire to a mine she planted earlier. So while Steven's standing with the barrier, with him protecting Connie and Amethyst at this point, because they're all that's left, he just hears a boom, and there's just gore and blood all over the barrier before it fades away. So, yeah. So the one person who's hunting her is Kim. Like, the one person who's hunting Wendy is Kim. And the thing is that Wendy is, like, they all took her for granted. Like, they all just took her for granted. And then, like, Pacifica basically gives the Rambo spiel. Like, Pacifica, who survived the alien invasion, more or less just gives the Rambo spiel to the remaining heroes. She's like, you know, she was a survivalist. She's fought demons. She's fought monsters. If she doesn't want you to find her, you are not gonna find her. She is gonna kill every last one of you. And they're like, are you telling me sending a bunch of GI Joes after one woman is a no-win scenario? And he's like, if you're sending that many Joes after her, you may want to pack one thing. And they're like, what's that? Body bags. And body bags is what you get. Because what happens is that Wendy sneaks on board the USS Flag, which is the command ship for the Joes, tampers with the reactor, fucks off, and then kills a vast majority of the Joes from the boat exploding. So by the end of it, Wendy and Kim are all that's left, and the two just try, at this point, Kim is basically like the Dr. Loomis to Wendy's Michael Myers, and the two just fight to a bloody standstill until Wendy manages to get her axe and just bury it through the side of Kim's head, and she's the last one to go, and she's like, that's it. They're all dead. And unfortunately for her, that was exactly what some of the surviving villains wanted, because, yeah, what happens next is that Megatron shows up, and he's like, hey, you killed all the heroes, you even killed the Cybertronians in a massive explosion, thanks, I'm gonna take over now. And that's when Wendy realizes that there were the villains she forgot to kill, they start just coming in and just taking over, and she's like, what have I done? And just blows her own brains out by the end of it, because at this point she feels nothing. Because she's fucked the planet, she's fucked everything in her own little quest for revenge, and she's like, there's only one person left. Blam! Yeah, this is not a fun story. This is grim in every sense of the word. Like, this is just total grimdark to the extent. But the story it's based off of, Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, is also not meant for fun times. So there you go. There is World War Wendy. Probably one of the most brutal stories I've ever brutal fanfiction ideas I've ever come up with. Like, seriously, this was like, even as I was saying this out loud, I was like, Jesus, this is a little fucked up. But yeah, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this story? Did you guys like it, hate it? Also, for shits and giggles, how would you have Wendy kill some of the other heroes I didn't mention? Because I didn't mention a few, but she killed them all. So you guys tell me in the comments below, how you think Wendy would kill some other heroes that I didn't mention, like Pen-Zero, Randy, the Autobots, Sailor Moon, Power Rangers, all of them. How you think she would kill them. But other than that, as always, if you haven't already, go check out the link in the description below and join my Patreon. That's where my Ghostbusters Afterlife review will be once I go see it, which will be soon, hopefully. Yeah, I know the movie's been out for a while, but hey, better late than never. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.